Assalamualaikum. This is Ara Wasif from Moonlight International Publishers, and I welcome all of you to the digital academic platform of Moonlight Publishers. I hope all students are fine. Grade 5 students, kindly open your English textbook developed by Moonlight Publishers. Unit number 9, Rescuing. Do you know what does mean rescuing? It means to save someone from danger or difficult situation. Before starting our reading and critical thinking competency, I just want to share with you something very important. Do you know about civil defense? And yes, civil defense is actually a department of the government. It has employees who are well trained for the crisis management. They also visit schools and colleges to train the teachers and students. They teach how to provide first aid to someone who gets injured or someone who becomes unconscious. They also tell how to react during fire or other incidents. And yes, that's the thing which we are going to read in this chapter. We'll see and we'll read how an earthquake occurred and how the students become rescuers and they started helping each other. Let's start our reading session. Do not panic. Panic means a sudden fear or the reaction. Was what the children kept reminding one another as. And when all regular classes of the school fell to jolt after jolt of the earthquake. Jolt after jolt means shaking. Now that they had become senior students of grade 5, they knew very well to be rescuers. Rescuers means a person who saves people rather than the rescued. Rescued means the people who are being saved. Sudden release of energy from Earth's lithosphere. Lithospheres means the rigid out layer of the Earth was nothing short of jaws of death. But boys and girls were determined to act as soldiers in charge. Evacuation was the first step. What does mean evacuation? Evacuation means emptying a place for protection. Teachers and strong students helped older ones, patients, handicapped and injured ones reach the place of safety first. Handicap means a person having a physical or mental disability. Another team of volunteers helped the wounded, picked them up safely and brought them to ambulances. Ladies and girls took extra care to ensure that girls were fetched at the exit point only by the elders of their families. Fetched means pick up. Never had the earth seen such acts of bravery and obedience. Bravery means courage. The instructions of the headmistress were taken as holy by all the teachers and students of all age groups. Sensitive souls had tearful eyes, seeing the sacrificing spirit of youngsters of this centrally located school. In the wink of an eye, they were joined by local men and women who practically proved that children were an asset for them and for the nation as a whole. Asset means a valuable person or thing. Most of them remained in a safe haven, avoiding all confusion, chaos and panic. Chaos means disorder. As the bad luck would have it, cruel death did succeed in claiming a few lives. Local hospitals, doctors, nurses, paramedics, and other supporting staff succeeded in saving many lives. And yes, have you seen how the 5th grader became the rescuer and saved the life of other students? So this is the way that we can also change ourselves. We can also train ourselves for the difficult situations. We should be ready to help others. Now it's time to think critically and give the answers of the questions that are asked in our exercise. Let's start. Question number 1. What did the children remind one another having felt the shocks of earthquake? And the answer is, the children reminded one another, do not panic. What was the first step in crisis management? And that is evacuation. Evacuation means empty or clear the place for safety. How were the instructions by the headmistress taken? And yes, the instructions by the headmistress was taken as wholly. Explain the term lithosphere. And yes, lithosphere is the solid outer part of the earth. Who succeeded in saving human life? And the answer is local hospitals, doctors, nurses, paramedics and other supportive people saved the lives. So we are done with our critical thinking session, but our one critical thinking session is still left. But before that, we are going to talk about transitional devices. Do you know about the transitional devices? And yes, transitional devices are phrases or words to connect two ideas, two thoughts and two paragraphs. Example, Saba forgot her lunch at home. Therefore, Sana shared her lunch with her. So the word therefore is joining or connecting two sentences. So the word therefore is the transitional device. I am going to buy a bicycle. However, I have to use all my savings. So the word however is joining or connecting two sentences. So that is a transitional device. I hope students that you are clear about the transitional device. Now please come back to the topic, recall the text, rescuing, and we are going to do MCQs. Get ready for that. Evacuation is the dash step in the crisis management. First, second, third or fourth. And yes, the answer is first. The team of dash helped the wounders. Volunteers, players, coaches or engineers. And yes, the answer is volunteers. The dash had never seen such an act of bravery. Sun, earth, moon and rain. And yes, obviously the answer is earth. The theme of the lesson is about dash. Crisis awareness, enjoying picnic, a field trip or dressing up nicely. Think carefully, recall the text and tell or observe the theme of this unit. And yes, it is about the crisis awareness. The students of grade 5 became rescued, rescuers, victims or afraid. And obviously they become rescuers. How? Because they were started saving the life of others. I hope students my today's video is very informative for all of you, and at the end of this lecture you have learned how you can react when there is a difficult situation in your surrounding. And at the end we have also learned about the transitional devices. Now it's time to say Allah Hafiz to all of you, but don't forget this is the first competency, rest of the competencies are still left. So we'll definitely be talking about rest of the competencies in our next video. Till then, just take care of yourself. Allah Hafiz.